In this session, we wrap up this arc of Sigil by examining the different circumstances that brought the group here a long way from home, from their home plane of Ark to their misstep in the area habited by a strange demi-plane living in itself, before getting rudely deposited into Sigil and becoming embroiled in the various strange politics and natures of events. Today, let's see what comes to shed the light of things. As we examine the group consisting of Adam ? Iman, the Warforged who somehow knows the shipmates, those from the Ark crew, but they are unable to place her as easily. We also have Sonika with us, and Eladrin, dancer and performer for the Sensates, who's getting roped into this, not unwillingly, and Kendra Lockhart, the gnome acquirer of shiny trinkets with perhaps the most sense of all. From their end, their task under Adam's jurisdiction is to secure a portal, obtain a portal key to break into the lady's maze, and obtain an object or persona of sufficient and equivalent power to displace the forces within and to rescue Grandmaster Stravas, who was previously the ship's navigator when they came from the Ark crew. Over the course of several days and even a few weeks, there's a marked change coming across Adam and Balasar, his alter ego. Kurok and Narpes seem impressed by the cunning tactician that seems to emerge. The first heist goes off flawlessly. Citizens in the marketplace recall a colorful distraction of dancers and dinosaurs as a wagon belonging to the Aether was waylaid and goods hauled off in all directions by too many heads to count, and by the time anyone was able to make heads or tail of this, the culprits were long gone, along with several relics thought to be imprinted by the long-gone god Aoskar himself, a victim of the Lady of Pain's jealousy. When asked to comment the Factal of the Fated, Factal Darkwood simply remarked that the heist had style and we'll be expecting the Aether to provide another relic for the museum, all on their own expenses. The second acquisition was trickier. It involved infiltrating into a high-end casino within the ladies' ward, made more tricky during the various distractions of the anarchists running around and their after effects. But the group managed to intrude into, at Ladies' Ward number 22, the Fortune's Wheel Gambling Hall, through various gilded halls of roulette tables, dice, and cards, and down into the seedier side, where an auction was held for the sale of a strange bluish creature known only to the Ark crew as Newt, perhaps more personally to the real Adam and Balasar. But alas, that time was past. There was a great commotion when the Newt cried out for help from its cage, and the auction house went to an uproar as various animals started escaping from their own cages through means quite unknown. The group persevered through the chaos, capturing the strange little creature and bringing it finally to the Bottle and Jug Tavern at H18 in the Hive, where they recognized that some sort of portal intermediary was present here, such that the proprietor, Abal Huxon, was able to host his interplanetary grudge matches in the whole style. Some quick thinking later, an outrageous wager and a one-on-one combat, and Balhaxon agreed to allow the loaning of the entire tavern for a single day, no questions asked. Then it was here that things went awkward. Let's start hearing it from the others one by one. Lina?
Yeah?
Okay. As Sony, what did you find strange about Adam/Balasa after he returned from Tivum's Antiquities, that portal tower?
It is probably that he's a lot more lighthearted and he doesn't call her stupid so much as the first day.
Okay. Kendra, what differences did you notice? Kendra, Ben, are you there?
Sorry, I was muted. Differences that I've noticed. He was a lot more friendly with the rest of the crew. The first day, he seemed to not want to have anything to do with anyone when he came back. Behaving quite strangely.
How about Iman? What did you notice about the new configurations of your partner after returning back from the tower?
On the first day when we almost killed him, she couldn't really tell anything, but as he started to change from Balasar to Adam, quote unquote, she realized the vital signs are different. So she's like, there's no longer any fluctuations between one entity and another. They seem to be the same entity this time. Just different shape. Then she's like, that's not Adam. That's not a crew member.
Does she raise any of these concerns to the others?
She would ask Kurok and the other head person.
Okay, Narapest?
Yeah.
Sure.
So she would bring it up because obviously they know him and she knows them as one of the primary people on the ship.
Right. Kurok and Narpes are a bit mystified by your analysis. It doesn't make much sense to them. But when they do talk to him, it seems he's able to answer most questions to a certain satisfactory level.
Interesting.
Fira, however, seems to be the most disquieted of the whole lot. Ilenia Firahel, as she is known, hailing from Turok Mal itself, and being something of a close item with Adam and Balasa since the group first met them, repeatedly expresses surprise at the competence of Adam, and even more so at the restraint of Balasar following the next few days. Sometimes I feel like you're a completely different person, she puts it, to which Adam and Balasar seems to laugh and shrug it off. Then comes the final day, getting everything to position at the Bottle and Jug Tavern. Then everything takes a turn. As they stand in front of a portal, Adam and Balasa produces the Arthur relics belonging to the long-gone god Aoskar, putting them in front of the frame that creates a portal, and a swirling blue mist soon ignites the area. Cobwebs spread across the portal, razor wire, razor weed, various signs and cutting of blades. The imagery is not pleasant, a reminder of the fate of those who cross the Lady of Pain and get thrown into her mazes. The creature known as Newt cries out within the hands of Adam and Balasar, who seems to watch almost dispassionately as the portal opens and yawns as if inviting something or someone to be thrown in. You have done well. The door has never opened as far as the others are concerned, but there again stands the coordinator, the enigmatic fellow, of whom only Adam and Balasar knows as being responsible for aiding in this venture into the Lady's Maze and the presumed rescue of Grandmaster Stravas. Adam and Balasar watch as one as the coordinator approaches. Quickly now, the portal will not hold for long. Toss the creature in. The equivalent exchange shall be carried out, and then we shall be able to leave from this place. What are the other three doing in the meantime? Kendra, Sonny, and Iman.
We're just standing around waiting for Adam/Balasar to put the animal through the portal, right?
Are we tight on time?
Sorry?
We're not
Are
fighting
we-
anything, right?
No,
We're just
it's like,
standing
are
around.
we tight on time? Because I assume that we really should hurry.
The portal is an ominous one. Green glow, the fake hint of spices beyond in dry dust, and something more unsettling.
Can Iman sort of feel any of her boss's vital signs?
Not through the portal, as it's not through the portal at the moment.
Okay.
But just as
Uh-huh.
unseen by the others, it seems as if Adam or Balasar makes a big movement, and there's a swell and grow of the portal as the energies start to fluctuate wildly and something is displaced. The vague suggestion of a cry of some sorts. And he steps back, still holding Newt. I am so sick and tired of you cell-style movers and sweepers. It's time to do this properly, he says, looking vaguely through the portal and waving. And there's a burst of energy as a face emerges, one not seen for a long time.
Is that
What is it?
who we're looking for? She's gonna ask.
Do I recognize the face
Adam.
as
Okay,
the person?
you,
Adam doing?
Iman, you do.
Ah, good.
The face that emerges is one that has been programmed into you repeatedly and drilled in to be obeyed and respected, whether or not the programming still holds. But he stumbles out. A man seemingly old, tattooed, and robed, and almost bending over.
She goes to help him.
He reaches out with one hand and holds onto Iman. No, what have you done? What have you done? And he stares in the direction of Adam and Balasar. As Adam's features begin changing, the flesh seems to mold over itself.
Is the portal still open?
The portal shuts.
Ah, damn it.
Oh,
As like the flesh seems to fold over itself, rearranging itself into a thinner, leaner form, and the newt is struggling to. And Adam's face settles into something newer. This should be adequate compensation for all the trouble I went through. Now, if you excuse me, it's been fun, but I have a few things to set right.
what? Wait,
And he
From
vanishes from the establishment.
from from what Iman has learned from Sigil the past few days, does she know that the person who escaped is the guy that the lady put
has-
in jail the first time? I forgot his name.
Lady in jail.
The stuff we stole in the cart. I forgot his name.
Okay, the figure that escaped looked different, but it had the same body. It has the same vital signatures as the Adam and Balasar that you thought you knew from the tower. The suspicious one.
It's not the Aethar guy, right?
No, it's not.
Wait, DM, just to clarify, he did not put any substitute into the portal.
He made a kicking motion.
Oh,
Adam Balasar made a kicking motion.
Yes.
Oh.
not
Oh,
Adam
did-
Balasar made a kicking motion.
Yeah. But you didn't see what he actually did. He just like
Made a kicking
Sleight
motion.
of
The
hand.
portal seemed to respond to something. And next thing, he changed his face and form and said that and popped off without so
With
much as
Newt?
a buy or leave. Yes.
Yeah, with Newt. I am going to
what does
ask.
Fira do?
Fira is in complete shock now. Adam? Plus, huh? What?
Who else is with us? Is Kurok with us?
Grandmaster Stravas is there. No, Kurok and Narpes are not there.
Okay.
Okay, but do we know that this is the guy we're looking for?
Well,
No.
Iman can confirm.
Okay.
It is Travas.
Yep, it is Strava. She's going
Oh.
to sort of holding on to the Grandmaster.
We should probably go.
She's looking at him going,
What's up with Adam?
Yeah. Does he do that often?
What do we do now? Grandmaster,
We need to bring word to the others quickly.
let's go.
It would appear the anarchists have a new leader now.
All right, let's get out of here, and then Kendra will trailblaze.
The Hall of Speakers, quickly. There's no time to waste.
Yeah, shortcuts. Let's go.
Yay.
He raises a hand as if to cast a spell, and there's a fizzle of sparks. As suspected. The long way. We hurry.
Take it easy, old guy.
Do I know if anybody can carry him in the group that's strong enough?
Marco!
He seems to be making his own. Progress well enough.
Okay.
I recommend
he's-
turning into some kind of animal for
What
faster
is true?
transport.
Sony will make sure Fira follows along.
Yes.
I'm gonna be shaped into a bear and have him ride.
And Kendra will use her background feature to
Okay.
get us where we need to
Grandmaster Stravas asks, I don't know most of you. Iman, status, what's going on?
Several people still missing. Some found. The leaders over here have decided to save you. And now we're going to the directives that you have told us. She tilts her head to the side. She's a bear, by the way. A bear is talking.
Yes. Grandmaster Stravas leans over. All right. Input signal 717 and A. Now contact everyone. Tell.
Hello?
Okay. And this is where, Iman, you get word that the others are gathering in the Hall of Speakers. There is to be a hearing.
There is a hearing at the Hall of Speakers. We should get there soon. Please hop on.
Yes.
Make haste.
Go.
And out we go.
Right. Meanwhile, for the other group, it has been several weeks, days, weeks, taken to recoup, regather, during which some previously missing crew members show up of their own after apparently receiving directions from the Harmonium and such to go to the 12 Factals Inn. Some more shaky than others. some silent. And Verity and Hayes in particular are kept most busy. As the days turn into weeks of recounting the attack by the anarchists and determine the extent of damages, as Mercy Killer, Harmonium, and governors work together to try and determine cause and effect. The verdict is made grimmer still when the Hall of Speakers issues another summons for the factals all over again. And this time, Factal Sarin tells the two of you, this is regards to the memorandum and more. Will you be able to make it?
Yes, Factor Sarin.
Hayes just nods.
Do you do this out of duty, or is there something more to it?
Verity takes a moment to like think upon it. Both.
We can expect to see the others. This will be a full gathering.
What will happen, Factor Sarin?
The memorandum was what called for this hearing, and now the anarchist attacks and the suggestion that it ties in with the untimely arrival of that crew, whom I am also inviting to join us. There may be many explanations in store.
Has anyone been able to track the directors?
They will be there too. This is going to be a full turnout. I don't have to tell you to be on your best behavior, but Verity, this is critical.
Is there anything that I should be aware of?
Well, Verity, today may be my last day as the factor of the Harmonium.
Verity is like silent. But Factor Sarin, what? Why?
They call for accountability. I understand that word in many ways, and it's difficult to deny that I failed catastrophically after almost 20 years de facto in this undertaking. And it goes beyond that as well. Today will have to be a day of truths, inconvenient ones. And by not being a factal as of tomorrow, I can speak of several.
But what will happen of who will be the next Factor?
I entrust Tonat Shah with this responsibility.
Do we
I
know
see.
about this person?
He's my second-hand man for being almost as long now as I have served. And yet, I still think I do not know him as well in these past few days as I've come to learn of you, Verity. I regret sometimes not being more outspoken when others of your station or below spoke of you as being just a face for the hive.
Verity is not saying anything.
Yes, Arya can come too.
Verity nods.
The rest of the art crew are also summoned. Alara and Rose, along with their crew members, are made to be present within the Hall of Speakers, a great grand hall at C4 within the Guildhall ward, built as a giant glass dome amphitheater, light flowing in from all angles, smoothed and hollowed out towards the center, where a lady's voice echoes out. 12 seats are strategically placed in a diamond formation. And in each of them sits a distinguished figure Factol, some of whom you have been more familiar with than others. Factol Sarin takes his seat to the north, Factol Marlin to his left, and an aged, slightly absent-minded looking dwarf totters his way onto Factol Sarin's right. Factol Hashkar of the governors, from whom the calendar of Sigil itself takes after. Further towards the right, Factol Ambar, one perhaps more familiar to Sonika in certain times, and Eladrin, celebrating of spring in song and music, the Factol of the Godsmen in the Foundry. Another face to the right, known by the identification as Factol Erin Montgomery of the Sensates, known for being particularly studious in the arts of pleasure and learning and sensations. She clasps her hands demurely, watching everything proceeding. To her side, a dragonborn of strong facial features and a cunning awareness to him, looking around the group, constantly speaking in whispers to a lady by his side, takes notes and records every single little thing. Treseki of the Fated, leaving no question as to the identity of Factol Rowan Darkwood by her side. So on and so forth. Are there any Factols in particular that the group wishes to know more of?
The singing elf thingy.
Huh?
Okay.
Why does it have hooves?
Factol Ambar Vergrove is something of a Fey ancestry, of a more wild and precarious nature, but one that takes well to the life of Sigil. He is a member of the Believers of the Source of the Gods Man, and he has frequently said, "We live in a multiverse where men can become gods and gods can become men. Why contend on being less? Music and poetry is the key to the soul, not politics." He sits here seeming to drum to a own tune of his own as he watches the proceedings, and the more observant among you may realize he's tapping his feet in some kind of imperceptible rhythm that's gathering in here.
Oh. Wait, is the team 2 is also in there, right?
Team 2 arrives through the northeast entrance.
Whoa, we're there?
Yeah, up there.
They're us?
We're totes there.
Why is
I'm
other us
just
here?
going to take this time for Iman just to quickly whisper to Stravas, Sir, unfortunately Kavros is also incarcerated.
Are you guys sure we
Wait.
should be here?
This is the Hall of Speakers where everyone has a voice. Things would be very differently if this were a court, and yet this could be the most dangerous court of all. Also, Kavros is here.
Yeah.
I shake my head as a big bear to say, okay, cool.
What's the name of the sensate Factol?
Erin Montgomery.
So Erin and the guy is Embers. What is
Ambar.
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 Ambar and Erin. Okay.
Okay.
Sony's pretty excited to see them both.
And towards the right of the Dragonborn is a stern-looking man in an almost modified mortician's outfit, just formal enough to be presentable.
Is the
But
dog
see-
there too?
Oh yes.
Nice.
It's unclear as to who's watching out for the current scenarios, as still as one might be. Those from the art crew recognize the man standing next to him, still in the drab grey robes and regarding the area with listless interest. Director Zoltan from The Experiment.
Zoltan.
This must be Factol Scowl of the Dustman. Current Factol, and if rumors would be correct, the founder even. At the bottom, sitting on the seat with obvious listlessness and impatience, the crackling of a storm around her, Factol Pentar of the Doom Guard. That she sits opposite, as far away as possible from Factol Sarin, speaks volumes about their relationship within the crowded, contested Sigil city. And by her side, waving unabashedly, is a warrior that some are familiar with by now.
Oh, hey, the big guy's here.
Mirko Mudhoof raises a hand in greeting, his mouth moving, but no words seem to emerge from it.
He's been silenced.
Oh,
And to the
Marco.
right, a half-orc just sitting, waiting, watching with sunken eyes.
Is that gasket next to Merkel?
Oh yes,
Ooh.
Factol Lar of the Bleakers. His followers are perhaps not as much of the same suit. Lady Karen and Lady Leandra, whom you met at the gatehouse at the asylum, wave their hands at Verity as he enters. Politely.
Aw.
Here nod to them politely. In his armor and everything.
Standing by the side, not taking a seat, is Factol Rise of the Ciphers, seeming ready for action and ready for words in equal measure. And on the rightmost, a striking woman of strange and distant features, as if not quite there, opens her mouth. Welcome everyone to the Hall of Speakers. I am Factol Darius of the Sign of One. This is not a court, this is an assembly of speakers and listeners. And to her left, the half-orc pipes up. It's the most dangerous kind of court. Let's get this over with. The man to her right, possessed of a strong distant gaze, can only be Factol Terrence of the Aethar. He glances over at the group entering from the northeast. His lips move, but no words emerge. If the rumors of the Aethar are true, Terrence has supposedly seen the true face of God at some point and come off disappointed enough to set up his own faction.
Oh,
Two member stands by his side, equally distant.
she looks familiar.
Factol Marlin raises a hand to attention, looking towards his compatriot and sometimes ally to the right. By Factol Marlin's side, a familiar face waves at Verity and moves over to his side.
Hey, Franz. Oh, I
I
should
can't
stand
see
here.
him. I mean, I don't have anything in front of me.
Right.
It's
So
You have to tell
Sahil.
me.
Sa'il walks over to Verity's side,
Oh,
taking a stand beside him.
okay. Yeah. Yes. Right, he's not going to react too much because it's a serious occasion.
Base being ignored.
He is nodding towards Sile.
There's also a halfling in the corner who has a little sign propped up there and is saying very little on her own. But to those who bother asking, she introduces herself as Ep.E028, an interested person on the behalf of the Free League who have no factol of their own. And several familiar figures stand by her side, some of which you may have met while in the hive, going through the business with the Cadix and everything. Alicia waves at a lot of you.
Ah,
Yay, Alicia.
Alicia is here.
Right, if everyone is present then, let us open the floor and remember this is the Hall of Speakers. Everyone has a voice. The Dragonborn folds his hands and starts first. I am Factal Rowan Darkwood of the Fated, or the Takers as some of you call it. We are asking for accountability in the recent events, accumulating but not necessarily begin and ending with the crash of an airship, if it is a ship, into our Hall of Records, incinerating several valuable documents on top of untold property damage. And coincidentally, this coincided with some of the increased insurgent efforts on the part of the anarchists. Something is going on here, and we ask for clarity from the group we have known to entrust the law enforcement of Sigil to, in particular the arresting part. Comments, Factal Sarin. Factal Sarin stands and says, it would have been appreciated if this matter was brought up instead of the entanglement of the memorandum, of which we are still dealing with the repercussions. Some of you have asked for explanations, and some of you have asked for accountability, and I see no better time than to announce this now. I, Factal Sarin of the Harmonium, have served in Sigil for almost 20 years now. Today is also the last day that I will wear this badge. And immediately voices break out from the others, like either whispers in between them or calls out. Factal Marlin just simply turns his head. Factal Hashka goes, oh my, this is unprecedented. That's not noticed, and Factal Amber claps his hands. Here, a bold decision has been made today. Let us hear what else he has to say. You want accountability. I've kept the peace in spite of. Despite some of your planning behind the scenes, your maneuvering for political attention, your secret and not so secret contempt of the Harmonium. Yes, you've blamed pretty much everything of the past few days and weeks on us, and here is my answer. I've upheld the laws and harmony of the city to the best of our abilities, tolerating some of your very careful uses of legalities. As of this moment, as of right now, once I kick aside this chair, there'll be no further discretion about holding me back. So perhaps the question you should ask yourself is, are you ready for the truth and your own accountability? There's a moment of silence in the Hall of Speakers. Does any of you wish to take the floor, as people are currently catching for words?
All of our leaders are with us, right? I see
Okay.
Sorrentina, Kurok.
Sorrentina, from Mithal has a distant look about her, seeming to look alternatively between the ladies on the left and right. Factal Erin and Factal Darius of the Signers. There's a strange stillness to her cadence, like one seeking answers but not speaking. Kurok is silent and large as always.
Still blind?
A blindfold still over his head, but he seems to stand almost protectively in front of Fira this time, who seems sullen and resigned.
Oh.
I want to ask the fatal one, do they call him Factal Darkwood? Or is it the other one?
Rowan Darkwood is the factal of the fated. Either
Yeah,
Darkwood
so-
or Rowan works.
Okay.
Varakatu of the Sedanti stands quite silently there, occasionally glancing back towards the direction of the fated and their scribbling of the records. And curiously enough, Vithalano's slave master Kavos stands there as well, attendants, and there's manacles around his hands, and what seems to be a ball and chain still attached to his feet.
Verity will step up to address Factal Darkwood. He will say, Factal Darkwood, I would like to sound out that the member of the crews are in no way associated with the anarchists. We and I have been with them for all the days they were here since the very first day, and they have not been in contact with the anarchists.
Oh.
Towards that end. He glances towards the direction of Factal Penta. I believe there was some kind of contact made at some point between the large one fellow over there in somewhat of the same establishment as your horned and hoof friend who was applying demolition works without a proper permit. Factal Penta just stares back at him. Are you looking for an apology? You won't find one here. Factal Hashkar speaks again. Order, everyone. One thing after another. Verity, was it, officer? What was your specific question?
If Factal Darkwood is trying to associate the people who come from, or the one who crash landed the ship onto his property, I can attest that they have no relationship with the anarchists. They have no idea what was here when they first came.
The half-orc known as Factal Lar laughs at this. Well, only one way to be sure. Can any anarchists among you stand up and please confirm this information? No? No one?
They fought against the anarchist who was trying to break into the prison.
At this point, Factal Erin stands up. Factal Malin, I believe that there was some sort of security measures around the prison, and this was a simultaneous attack. Can you please enlighten us of the situation here? Factal Malin instead beckons to the lady by his side. I'm Lady Elysion Elysia of the Mercy Killers. I am here to deliver a verdict that during the distraction of the memorandum, the anarchists launched a simultaneous attack on the prison, Harmonium headquarters, and she glances towards the Factal across her. Factal Hashkai, you are aware that the court has been attacked, yes? Really? I've been sitting here all this while. That's not very good news. Yes, they are in search of something. something which we are yet to determine. And at this point, Slave Master Kavros speaks. I know what that something is. There's silence again in the Hall of Speakers. Does anyone else wish to take the floor?
Verity will.
Oh.
And
That's what the
what
something
would
is.
that be? Slave Master Kavros?
Elysia speaks up. Why is he here? Shouldn't he be in prison? And Slave Master Kavros raises the manacles and points to the ball and chain behind him. Says, give me a moment here. My cell was vaporized. I have not, however, attempted to escape my bindings. I have information you need, so best to present it. What you wish to do with me after, we'll see. Factal Marlin, is this... And Marlin raises a hand, cutting her off. All eyes are intent there now. And Sarin has a look on his face that you have not seen in a while, Verity. Silent, smoldering anger. And he grips the edge of his chair.
Well, Verity will still confirm that he asked that question. He will say, if you know what it is, would you care to share?
To properly understand the situation, there's a bit of history involved. How many of you here are familiar with the containment protocol Mark 0? Facto Hashka speaks. Objection, we are not really supposed to bring this up in pub. Facto Sarin speaks up. Yes, and as of tomorrow, I'm no longer the Facto. Carry on, please. And heads are turning around. Elysia Nilisa speaks. Mark 0? No, it starts with Mark 1. No, it started further back. Much further back. The Aethar, Facto Terrence. And it interrupts the temporarily serene gaze of the man. Almost 900 years ago, you formed your faction in the shattered remains of a temple to a dead god, cut to pieces by her serenity. Facto Amber speaks up. Are we really to speak of the lady's name in such a place, her serenity and all that? If she disapproves, may she cut me down right now. No, not happening. A dead god appears in the astral plane that the Aethar are so fond of showing off. Have any of you actually seen the body of the slain god? Well, if by seen you mean a confirmation visual or audio, that you haven't. We were left with the pieces. The pieces cut small, thin and fine, and still with power. there was... We weren't supposed to return. Factosarin speaks up. Yes, you weren't supposed to return, but evidently here you are, and here things are today. And Kavros looks towards the two by his side, the director Zoltan and Tom Oscar of the experiment. If our work, our notes had been properly disposed of, no one would have tried to repeat this. Officially, we exiled ourselves from our respective factions for irreconcilable differences. Unofficially, we set off to build a world. And voices are being raised across the hall of speakers suddenly. Building a world? Blasphemous! Absolutely not. But the world begins here, and here in Sigil itself with us. How can you possibly make a new one? A world without gods just doesn't function, period. There are theories proving this, and in fact, Kavros seems just content to wait for things to play out themselves. Does anyone wish to take the floor now?
Do you guys feel
We know what
anything?
to say.
You just heard
I-
Kavros say that he made your world, guys.
I know there's so much questions, but we are basically in the middle. It's like we are
You
being
should ask.
trialed.
Because Verity is just like, I
Yeah.
see. I think the ARC people will be like, what the heck?
I know. Rosa's gonna look at Sorrentina. Where's Sorrentina looking at? She's like, I have so many questions, but I'll just.
Florentina is seated on the floor in a lotus position.
She's going. Rose is going to ask Kavros, who is we?
Myself and a few others. And here comes one. He glances up towards the northeast exit, where Stravas is being, riding in on a bear. With two others accompanying and heads to
How
when did they get
romantic.
in here?
Oh, everyone's looking at us now.
The bear stops because everybody's looking and then just goes, "Oh."
Sony's gonna wave. It's like, hi. Just wasn't true.
Kendra
He needed
tends
to be
hide
here.
behind the bear.
Verity actually turns to you guys at ARC. And he's like,
Are you aware of that?
What?
That you
Wait, how
came
did
from a world that is made up, made and created.
Rose is gonna say, I don't know what was made, but I was born there.
As far
Pretty
as
sure
we
our
know,
world is legit.
if we go through every world creationist view, every world was made, but little that I know, it came from him. He's my captain.
And I'm pretty sure the history of our world is quite long.
Varkatu has his hands spread out trying to hold back Mayweather and Yorman from running forward towards Kavros.
The godly people.
Dare you! You claim to play God? Not God. A substitute was needed. It began as an exercise to see if we could safely dispose of remnants. Conceptually, a world could hold it.
And all of us, all the people that live there, a product of those remnants? Or people you brought with you?
And several factors are looking at each other and saying, wait, it was you? You took away some of my best minds? There was no persuasion involved beyond the presenting of facts. They came of their own will. This memorandum, this experiment, was one of the early efforts to populate a world. Difficult to do without an actual god, but possible. We abandoned it in the end. Too risky.
Wait, so that is not our world?
You can say we're immigrants.
I mean, you didn't abandon us.
No, our forefathers abandoned them. And then she looks around to the hall.
At this point, Noel chimes up. You know, I was wondering how come we speak the same languages.
I always kind of took that for granted.
Didn't we? What else has we taken for granted?
I mean, the dwarves have their own languages. The elves too. But in the end, we all had something we can use with each other. I thought that was like evolutionary.
What is evolutionary?
Something we come to accept.
Fractal Darius of the science just smiled. I always knew it. We were always the center of the multiverse. Yes, you are the most important person in the multiverse. Now, carrying on. At this point, Varkatu steps forward himself. Jorman Mayweather, please compose yourselves. I will probably end up doing the deed myself if I need to. So, I always thought it strange that Vithalnos conveniently had some kind of vessel capable of planar travel and not having utilized it in previous war efforts where we weren't on such friendly terms. Care to tell us the real reason you decided to leave again? Facto Sarin speaks up here. My guess is the containment is failing. Something like that. And there's like outcries from the ARC people as well. And again, like there's Jorman Mayweather going, this is what you get when you play God. And then from Imalta's side, would you prefer not to have been created in the first place? I'm pretty sure your parents might have something to say about that.
Verity will ask Kevros. Oh, you can continue if you want to.
Does anyone want to take the floor now while there's arguing going on?
Verity will ask Kevros.
I'm not very familiar with the containment, but what will happen if the containment doesn't work? What will happen to the world that you left behind?
In all honesty, we were hoping to seek a new one to relocate before it happened.
What happened?
Before the breach happens.
Breach into the...
We're looking at the possible destruction, from what I've gathered, of our home place, which means a lot of death. But we can circumvent it by making migrants out of all of us. Refugees, so to speak.
Wait, Alara, you know of this?
No, This is from what I gathered from the past 10 minutes.
I can't believe you can talk about it so calmly.
Would you rather I be screaming?
It's alright. I
Um,
think I can do enough of that in my heart right now.
This entire time she is gripping his arm so tight
He's going.
Ow,
that
ow, ow.
he's
I'm waiting for the other
probably
shoe to drop, right? Everything's in control.
it's like he's probably numb right now.
And Tia behind is just going, well, that's a bingo. All my conspiracy theories were right.
Snake woman is proud.
Tinfoil hat.
And then, Verity was song as well.
So is the crash a calculated event then?
It wasn't. That's the strange thing. We weren't supposed to return to Sigil. Well, you see, if we return to Sigil, it means the world we set up to make was successful. My only guess is the anarchists now want to make their own.
Is that what they're looking for?
Yes, the contained unit. That's fascinating and all, says the Factal Darkwood. But where is this thing actually kept right now? I will be very concerned if it was under our only other undamaged building. At this point, Factal just speaks up. Do not concern yourself. We have it secured. What? You? Shh.
Out of character, who is that?
Factal Rise of the Ciphers.
She's the lady with not many words.
Mm-hmm.
Lady? Looks like a boy.
Yeah.
She's the lady. She's the best lady.
Okay, go on.
Then Verity will ask,
The directors who started with the memorandum were actually influenced by Navarre, who wasn't really himself, okay, let me explain it slowly. There was a book called The Elaskan Empire. Is anyone here aware of this?
There's some looks around muttering. Kavros nods.
Is that one of the books that were left behind?
It should have been destroyed. But someone didn't have the heart to destroy it.
Who's he looking at?
Who?
He's looking up at the ceiling in general, just shaking his head.
Verity will say,
And because of that,
They weren't willing to make Ark if I were to proceed with that step.
you know this someone has just caused the death of a family and a lot of others.
And I'm supposed to be the bad one.
Either way, that was taken care of. The book no longer exists.
So
I
what-
want to know, the directors, you all agreed to the experiment. Is it of your own free will, or are you influenced by that entity?
Kavros speaks at this point. Influence. They wouldn't know it. Even Contain, the wretched thing, has an influence. On books, on people. We try not to talk about it.
I want to ask out of character, Has Verity been able to speak to the directors before this?
You can go ahead right now if you want. But like, Tomoska and Harvest, at the moment they are draped themselves in sackcloth and they're not saying very much, just seeming to await some kind of a verdict.
Wait, they're wrapped in sackcloth?
As in they're in
Like-
prison clothes.
Okay.
And Tomoska and Harvest speak up this point. We appreciate you trying to defend us, but whether willingly or influence or such, a crime was still committed and a sentence should be served.
Verity say,
There is no doubt about that, but we should speak about some truth here and know why it all happens.
Ask away.
Why did you not contact anyone after losing contact?
A moment of truth then. There are many reasons we can think of. Given that we had no orders, no inclinations, so on and so forth. But I think the truth is just that we wanted to build a world that Harmonium would approve of.
I see.
And at this point, Sarin just slumps forward as Karvos looks at him. I think I told you once, every man wants his own kingdom in the end.
Verity will just stay quiet for now. If you guys have anything you want to say, you can voice out. No?
Is good.
Sayil just taps Verity's shoulder. Verity, I know that you wouldn't want your own kingdom. Is that correct?
I just want peace. And a world where everyone could be together.
Sigil works, says Sarin from where he slumped over. It works because we put the effort into it. It works because we
Yes.
monitor ourselves and try to be the best that we can. It does not mean infallibility. The perfect world you want, Kavros, does not exist. Kavros just nods. But I try anyway.
Right here, speak up. The reason why Governor Navarre tried to stop it from spreading is because he saw that Sigil will be destroyed if the Ilaskan Empire got its way. There is, I agree, no perfect world. But that's why we need to learn how to understand each other.
Jorman and Mayweather speak at this point. Are you saying that God is a lie? Kavros shakes his head. No, he's simply what you made it to be. And he turns to face the others at this point. We are from Ark. It's not in the records for some parts. You might not even claim it as being a real place. But to me, it has become that. And I'm trying to preserve it.
Is there a
And
way
this
to
should
stop?
concern those of you factors of Sigil as well. If this containment cannot keep a fragment, how long will your own city hold?
Is there a way to reinforce the containment?
We tried thaumaturgy, we tried soul links, we tried... if you thought this memorandum was bad, you should have seen the other things we tried. And like their hands are covering over mouths at this point. This worked for a time. Well, it's possible. We were hoping, failing to find a new world, we were hoping to gather materials and scavenge more to reinforce the one we have.
Wait, DM,
Yes?
when he says of the breach, I'm not sure if I missed it, but what exactly is breaching? Is it the power from the dead god or?
Apparently there's a fragment and like the it seems that the plane is built to contain it.
The fragment of the dead god.
Well,
Okay.
apparently dead isn't the most accurate thing here.
Okay.
Because God is not like die.
How many fragments are containing? Rose is gonna ask. Because she's suspecting 4, but no one really said.
5.
5?
Small ones.
Are there one beneath each continent? Well, I don't know. I'm at a loss of words right now.
Doesn't matter at this point. I just need a way to fix it.
No, that does matter. There's a lot to fix right now. Oh dear.
Alara speaks up. How long before this supposed containment fails?
By our estimates, we have about a decade or so.
Okay, that kid is long.
No,
How does
For
the
the-
time work at your
for
at the
the
plane?
for the long-lived of us, a decade is very short.
Very to ask.
Time is a tricky thing when traveling planes.
Yes.
Yes,
the
Alara,
time
I'm
you
just trying to
return-
see on the bright side. Sorry, go on.
By the time you return, would it be enough?
We try.
And then how the mass exodus? How will we be able to move so many people away at
We
such a
try,
time?
damn it.
Once we find a new place, how do we move them?
The ship. I can make more. Exert more of it.
She's surprised a little bit, and then she nods.
Excuse me, says one of the factors. So we're going to be having more of these planar traveling disaster transports and Factor Sarin looks up. Please phrase your question very carefully. Well, what I mean to say is, perhaps we might be of assistance in this very tricky problem going on that seems to affect us all. Sarin looks to Verity and Hayes. Here's the time to pitch ideas, if you will.
I would like to assist if a world is collapsing, and You said you have 5 pieces of the contained unit. Are there any more out there?
This was our only experiment to date.
And what of the uncontained ones out there?
He glances towards the fractal rise. It can be ready for transport within an hour. We wish you the luck.
Come again? What was the last part?
Can be ready for transport within the hour. We wish you best of luck.
Right, so for character, is she saying that she's giving the contained unit?
There's some looks around as well as others seem to catch on his suggestion. Fractal Ambar speaks. Excuse me, dear, you are going to foist this problem onto these poor unfortunate souls as well? And Fractal Dark would speak up. Actually, that seems sensible. It would get the anarchists off our back and maybe even off of Sigil. And we are able to provide better assistance without all this nonsense plaguing us right now. What was the containment bindings again? Adamantine? Fractal Hashka speaks up. Adamantine with animathic lenses conducted at 3-4 intervals. Yes, that.
Wait, so it is adamantine.
So are they,
Adamantine with certain reinforcements.
are they trying to ask us to bring this contained unit on our ship to bring it somewhere else?
Bring the container with you. It has been stable this far. You may be able to put your 5 fragments into it. The container can at least hold those fragments. It may buy you time to implement a more better long-term solution. The caveat being, of course, that you will be carrying the containment unit.
But then their world will have no rest if the anarchist keeps going for them.
We are willing to pitch in our assistance.
Are we going to migrate to...
My understanding of the anarchists is that they don't exactly possess ships of their own capable of transporting between planes. We will watch the gates closely.
I see.
And then Verity would look to Kavros and ask,
Where do you have in mind the next destination?
There's a world, a plane. Well, I had a different destination in mind, but you saw what that had. It's clearly no longer valid. The other destination I had in mind is a world of fairly untamed magic, roiling grounds, shifting earths, changing scapes. One perfect for imprisoning gods, or at least they have tried and some has succeeded. Those there devoted an entire line of study towards binding.
I see.
We did not leave on very good terms last time, but perhaps times will have changed now.
Will our world be all right without the fragments? I mean, it's not going to suddenly end up imploding because it's hollow on the inside, is it?
We might try removing the fragments one after another, but we will try and keep the last one in.
Oh.
So we're returning to your world to extract those pieces before we head on.
I have a better idea. Some of you proceed to this world of Zendikar immediately. The rest of us will take the very hazardous containment unit out of here immediately.
We shall meet back in this Zendikar place.
A show of hands then. Who's willing to travel to a land of mad magic?
If it's to save your world,
And Verity looks back.
I will lend my assistance.
Is he asking generally to the whole room? To the Ark people as well?
Yeah. He genuinely means the Ark people.
Oh,
Because it's your world.
yeah. Alara will say, aye.
Wait, this one is the one that is gonna go where?
Zendikar.
To
Zendikar.
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 Zanzibar!
So basically we are going to Zendikar to like what? Get a foothold
Prepare
or
the
something?
area.
Yeah.
No,
Okay.
prepare the area to put the fragments.
Okay.
I think it's like
So,
get a
so
foothold.
so the combination is it's a place where people have studied binding and they parted on bad terms last time.
Yep.
That means they, which means Kavros and
Yeah. Because the younger times, different days, and all that. And now their intention is to hope to get there and secure whatever means of binding they used to imprison their own gods.
okay.
Correct
Are
me
they
if
trying
I'm
to
wrong.
get a method or get a place there to bind the god?
Method is preferable, but if they can get materials and place too, even better.
So we are going there to basically diplomat
Yeah,
a better
so...
relationship for Kavros to return.
So,
Question mark?
Alara is going to ask
Okay,
Kavros
diplo-
directly.
I was saying, diplomacy is a tricky business there, but most of the inhabitants are on their toes all the time. The land itself tries to kill them.
I see. Would there be any long-lived enough to remember you?
There are some creatures in there that are long-lived. Vampires, for example.
Yeah, you see Verity like,
Will they know? Will they know how to
Rubs.
identify us, or are they now unwilling to negotiate with any outsiders?
It is better that they do not see my face. Let's put it this way.
Naturally,
I see.
but will they know us? Of course, if we end up there, surely they'll realize there's a giant ship coming from the air.
Planeswalkers are fairly common in such parts. Most coming for their own various reasons, seeking answers, searching lost ruins.
And of their leaders?
It's a fractured world. Good luck.
I see. So
So on the
world
bright
surface-
side, we don't need to worry about complicated politics or overarching armies opposing us. The downside is that the land itself is a trouble.
I guess resources will be scarce over there as well.
Indeed.
But what are you specifically looking for?
Look out for runic writings, ancient suggestions. Kick the vampires about if you need to even. There are various runes around from civilizations past, and many of them have depicted the binding of gods imprisoned within structures even.
So we are finding for runic scriptures.
Yes.
We'll be going on a proper, this time, exploratory endeavor.
Master Kavros, is there any name that we could look out for that might be helpful?
Names of?
Perhaps the vampires
Anyone-
that you spoke of.
And more like anyone in the past who you know who might have had success with the bindings or so. So we know we are on the right path with our search.
One that I did have some success with was a vampire by the name of Enowan,
Anyone.
the self-styled rune sage.
Anyone's rune sage. Is there anything in particular that we should know if we do come to see this person again? Just in case.
I'll compile you a list right now, but for the time being, other questions.
Will he like hearing your name?
Frankly, I don't trust him. He seems a bit too
Alright.
happy to know me. But you can try tossing it regardless.
Alright.
I guess we are working on a time limit of sorts. We have to lay out some plans. But at the moment, does anyone has any questions?
There's a look around, and Lady Erin from the Sensei speaks up. I understand that there's some complication with your ships at the moment. The ship has been impounded, yes? Facto Hashka says, oh, well, in light of these alarming revelations, perhaps the impoundment can be reduced to a modest fee, and for legislation and Facto Darkwood, Rowan Darkwood speaks up. I would be pleased to settle this impoundment for an understanding of compensation from the other side, being of course that I'll insist on sending a member or two to this expedition.
Wait, which Factal said that?
The fated.
Facto Rowan Darkwood of the Fated.
Okay.
You can already see the cogs turning, the financial wheels there.
Oh no. Are we
It's
gonna have
good.
strangers coming with us?
Investment.
We got that rich guy with us, guys.
Okay. Factal Penkar from the Doomguard speaks up. I have heard of such a place, where the land itself is at war with its inhabitants. I would like to pay it a visit myself. There's a momentary pause across before some faces go. Yes, we applaud Facto Pengtar's expeditionary attitude. Yes, by all means. And you can see from the other end where they're coming from. A brief prelude of no Doomguard unwarranted demolishing.
Who is going to guard all the doom?
Wait,
Merkel, of course.
they're the ones who makes weapons, right? They might actually be helpful to have on our side.
Facto Aaron speaks up. The sensates never turn down the opportunity for a sensation. I expect some of them will want to come along as well.
Oh! Can I come along?
Lady Sonny? By all means.
Yes!
Alara
Thank you,
looks
Master.
around and goes, so exactly how many ships and how many people are going?
Kavros looks around. Take as many volunteers as you can. The rest are likely to be returning back home soon.
She nods. And how soon do we go? Provided all of this, she gestures around to the court.
Facto Raisha says, I can have the containment unit ready for transport within the hour.
Is Sorrentina really still like detaching herself from this whole thing?
Sorrentina stands up and looks around and nods. Sorrentina says, I need to return to Mithalgaring. A lot of light has been shed, not all of it good. My people need understanding.
Of course.
Okay, I'm gonna make a note to talk to Sorrentina later. Okay.
I'm sure a few of ours also have to go back to placate people who do know. She's questioning in particular Kavras.
This time around, I will only take volunteers. And there's some sighs of relief around.
Meanwhile, at the back, the bear is gonna look at Stravas and go, Sir, I thought there was some trouble that we had to explain to them.
Grandmaster Stravas just sighs. Typical Kavros. You come in with one question and end up answering 3 of his.
I assume that's what politicians do. Ha 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 ha.
Grandmaster Stravas speaks up at this point. This may seem to be more of a moot point now, but I have just witnessed the activity of the anarchists, and they have come into possession of a strange creature that seems to block all divination efforts. It would be for best interest if everyone were to act quickly and swiftly.
I think it's at this point in time where Kendra will decide, I don't think this is for me, and kind of just
Vampire.
shake out the back and run for the hives.
What manner of creature is this?
Who? What?
Verity will ask the Stravas.
Stravas makes an illusion with his hands, and you see Newt. Well, actually, everyone sees it.
Oh, that's
Alara's
Adam's
first-
thing. Oh, wrong voice.
The newt?
That's Adam's thing, right?
Wait,
that was
it was-
Adam's pet for a while, and then it disappeared.
It
And now
came
Adam's
from
is.
the Chaos Man.
Yeah.
I think one of the Chaos Men gave it to Adam at some point. I heard it just keeps eating and grow bigger, but I do not know that it blocks divination. That's troubling. Where
Grandmaster
is
Stravas
Adam, by
nods.
the way?
I actually do not know. The one whom I presume to be Adam changed his face and disappeared.
Oh, he does that a lot, but he turns into Dragonborn, right?
Fira just stumps her face against the floor and goes, I should have known. I should have known there was something wrong with the tower.
The tower?
Yeah.
After he left, he was just behaving strangely.
Did something happen? I mean, it's odd enough to see you not with him.
Imana is going to speak
I
up
don't
and
really
say,
want to talk about this with strangers.
it seems
Fine.
that the entity known as Adam has been replaced. Just recently. I can gesticulate it was at, and then she says the exact date in which she suspects that Adam is not Adam anymore.
Oh, that was before. That was shortly after we met, wasn't it? Sony says.
I realized that about a day.
Oh, I remember now. Yeah, he was acting really weird and we drowned him.
What?
There's silence across.
Verity is the person who says,
What?
Perhaps
no.
accidentally.
He was acting weird, so we drowned him.
Kairos,
We were trying to see what was
Verity
wrong.
is like, what?
I
He's
was
like,
trying to
what?
get a reading, a fortune telling.
What happened to Adam?
I don't know. He was fine and with us, and we
You
saved.
said He's
Master
Apparently-
Stravas?
Apparently, he was missing some information for a very specific period of time.
Uh-huh. And his attitude changed.
There's a sound of rattling hands as Fractal Skull speaks up for the first time. Was this an actual death?
Death?
Was this an actual death?
I
Define.
didn't really see anyone dying, but he just changed.
Can Verity sort of know this kind of, I don't know, will he know what's a doppelganger? You know, people, things that change into other people.
I mean, it's a bit vague. Illusion magic is quite common.
Yeah.
But the way you say, like, he changed into another person.
I mean,
instead of,
she
like,
just said she drowned someone.
And, yeah, and also, you know, he keeps changing from Balasar to Adam,
I
so
mean,
he
like, how
changed him.
Fira describes it is like he changes into another person. It's kind of specific, though.
Then that would be Fira, but she doesn't want to talk to strangers.
Yeah, but then she said it already, I guess. Never mind. Continue on.
As in, there are other magics that duplicate the effects without being a doppelganger.
Yeah.
That's true. Anyway, you can answer the question
Shit,
from
shit.
the old man.
Stravas looks at Iman. The vital signals of this other imposter, do you still have them?
Affirmative.
Well then, let me say to all the factors of Sigil, in thanks for your efforts, in turn, I will busy myself with finding this miscreant. I will let you know when I have results.
Rose is feeling a bit unsettled, but she does not really understand what's happening, so she is not going to say anything for a while until it sinks in.
Alara is going to look at Iman and everybody else in that corner and go, so Adam and Balasar are gone?
Fira makes a noise.
Was that
Rock just
coughing or,
holds on to her.
coughing or crying?
Choking?
Choking. From that
I
reaction.
knew nothing good would come from him going missing.
Nothing good would come from him, full stop. But that is not something that we can do right now. We might be able to find him had we known where he went, but evidently he was replaced by something.
Well, she said she could point it out. And Rose is going to point to Iman. But I think we should settle this afterwards.
Understood.
Fira stands up and says, "Excuse me," and she starts leaving.
Is Kurok... No, I don't think Kurok would be doing anything.
The others look at her and Kurok says, "We'll get back soon."
He leaves
the
as
others
well?
depart- yes. All of them are leaving with Fira.
Alright.
Oh, the poor Turukmal folk.
They really do stick together.
They
Yeah.
can find Kendra and ask for help.
Yeah, because Kendra is the only one that she spoke to and was close to for the whole duration. Everybody else is like, eh.
And she also conveniently shaked out. And Narpes can probably find her again.
Yeah.
Okay, so Kavros looks around. Right, so who's on the expedition? Queue up on the right, please.
Alara stands up and goes to the right, and then before she does that, she looks at Ahi and Tia, And
Okay,
she goes,
volunteers go in this box.
Okay. Rose is well. Sarmia, blah. Sorrentina did say that she's gonna go back to
yeah,
art.
Sorrentina's
She's gonna
going home,
go.
yo. Cat!
Yeah, she's going to go to.
Yes, the cat.
Oh, the red box is the one that's going to
On
Zendikar.
the
Yeah.
expedition.
And Sail follows after. Factor Malin, by your leave, really? Thank you.
Verity, before he goes to the box here, looks at Factor Sarin. Sort of like for confirmation. Sort of just looking at him.
Alara's gonna look at Ahe and go, you know, you don't
Sarin
have
looks
to.
at Verity, goes, Verity, you've outgrown me for confirmation.
Mal.
When you made the decision with the book, I know I can trust you.
Thank you, Victor.
Then he does
This
a
one will assist you.
salute, and then he goes.
Clank, clank, clank. Alara's looking at Ahe and going, you know, you
Ahi
don't...
follows along.
Oh, Tia, you don't have to go if you don't want to. I mean, you look quite accustomed to sigil in general.
Are you attempting to use reverse psychology on me?
Alara is smirking so hard right now. What makes you say that?
Well, you make a statement implying a positive with a negative element in the event of a refusal.
Oh, is that the way? You know me too well. I'll come along then.
Sure.
We go! Boop.
Yay!
Put yourself
and
in
then
a box, yeah.
I can't put myself in
Why
a
is
box.
Ahe so far away?
I don't know.
I put Verity in already.
Oh, okay. Verity will look aside and says,
I'm very glad that you came along.
Peace in the pod.
in
You
private.
know, I was just not too long ago, I was still thinking of promotions within the ranks, and such things seem so small now.
And then Verity gives him like a pat on the shoulder, like,
And looking around at the rest of the crew members, there's some reservation from the others significantly. Imalta speaks up. The sanitary practice in this area needs help. I think Sigil needs my expertise more than these places of changing terrain you describe. I can't make improvements to landscape, only physiology.
Alara pipes up as expected. It seems like this sigil is very much some place that you would like to inhabit permanently.
The sanitary practices are detestable. I can start as soon as quickly as possible.
Yay.
Rose is gonna bow to Imaltar. Thank you for the help that you've given while we were together. It was much appreciated.
Yes, your help with the sanitarium was well noted.
Finala says, I don't know about you, Lord, but I'm staying here to fight the good fight. I mean, this is a different place. Every day, I feel like I belong here. These people fight for something worthwhile, not just parades or wars.
yeah, Verity will give her a little pat as well and says,
I think you belong in the harmonium.
Thank you. One
Alara
day I'll
is...
be just like you.
Aww,
Aw,
what a cute patore. Zealot. Ha!
I'll see you again.
a sorcerer's apprentice.
Alara is going to go to Yorman in particular because she has interacted with him the most out of everybody else, and he's been really
Okay.
helpful. Yormond, I know that this might not be something you may want to do, considering we've pretty much stepped on your beliefs the entire time. But
You don't say.
would you consider going to someplace new?
Oh, I think it is time to reconsolidate what we truly know and believe in. Mayweather speaks. We came searching for God, or failing that, the gods. This Sikil is a place where nothing is truly sacred. And this new place you describe sounds like a haven for all kinds of terrible things. Dark influences lurk where people are desperate.
A place where you think they might need guidance?
I don't think they need gods there. I think they need something much stronger. Jorman speaks. It was nice to return to my roots for a change here. I think Factor Ambar. I thank him for the opportunity to work the song in Forge, and perhaps someday I'll return after Mayweather and I find that answer. For now, no. I think we need to go back to Sadanti and figure out what's really going on behind the churches.
And with that, I wish you the best of luck, but also please take care of everybody down there. We know the stakes. I will try my hardest. We will, to at least find some way to fix it.
You do that. The Dragonborn, however, approaches you. Varkatu. So, I had a look at some records.
So that's
This
where
goes a
you're
lot
hiding.
deeper than we suspect. I will be coming along to represent Sadanti's interests, if nothing else.
Well met. Anything that you can tell us about all of these things would be very helpful, especially where we're going, considering the land hates the people. Not an entirely alien concept, considering I lived my entire life in Vitalanos, where everyone hates everyone.
I'll see what I can dig up. This is Varkatu speaking, by the way, so he doesn't actually have any knowledge of that place, but he says, I'll see what I can dig up.
Yep.
Having no answers is usually how everything starts anyway.
It's the basis for the best exploration.
And then, with our Garing group, what's Rose doing or saying?
She's gonna look at Noel. And she's gonna say, I'm going to join them to Zendikar. Our world definitely needs us. I mean, you heard what they said. If we don't do anything, I know we left the world, but it was not in my intention to let it be destroyed.
That's why Noel speaks up. That's why I'm going back to cherish it and keep it while I can. You go do your thing.
Are you sure you don't want to come along?
I want to cherish what I have. I don't want to chase what isn't. How has chasing gone for you, Rose?
Well, never mind that, Noel. You go there and cherish it. Cherish it forever. I'll make sure that it'll still be there when Sarmia gets back. Then she looks at Twitch. Don't meow me. Do you want to come for an adventure?
It nods and runs to stand to the right with the others.
The best meow.
She goes
Twitches
up
like
to Sarah.
gasket, pretends not to speak English.
That is
Fucking
like
fucking gasket.
Hold on. Kai, stop that. No. Hold on. She's gonna go to Saru. I don't think she knows Saru that well, but Saru is Twitch's master. It's like, are you gonna go along with your...
The winds in this sigil are not conducive to soaring. I think we can find better heights with a greater place.
Thank you.
Aw,
Your
he got better.
strength will really be helping. We'll be helping everyone when we
Yes.
go.
Birdman.
He got his charisma back.
And then she goes
In a few
to...
weeks.
Then she goes to Sorrentina. She...
My people need me, you understand this.
Yes, I do.
But if you have
Sorry.
any questions, I will answer them as fully as I can.
She nods. You know, you've always been like a mother to me. With Sarmia as well.
Thank you.
Everything I do, it will be for everyone, but especially to both of your benefit.
Oh, Rose, do it for yourself.
Do you know about Sarmia's past?
She stands stiffly for a moment, looking towards Kavros.
She was taken away. I've always thought the people who were chasing her were bad, but she's being incarcerated. I don't really know what to think, but I like to think that she will be free eventually. I want Art
Rose,
to be
do you
there.
believe in yourself?
Hmm?
Rose, do you believe in yourself?
Would it help?
That is the first step to anything.
She sighs and nods. Well, I'll look forward to the future. I'll make sure that Art will be there when she's out.
Try to think less sometimes of what it means to everyone except yourself. And put yourself in the spot of joy.
Rose gives a nervous laugh. I will try to understand what that means. She hugs Sorrentina for a moment.
Sorrentina
then moves.
hugs back.
Thank you. I will see you again one day.
Oh, Sonny, can you look after her, please?
Huh? Who? Oh, the little girl?
Yes, please have a look after her. And teach her how to dance sometimes.
Of course. Hello, my name is Sonny. It's like, hi. Please, I don't do dance. And she's gonna go run away.
Wait, who is talking to Sony?
Rose.
Rose.
No.
She's talking to.
Oh, I
Oh.
think Sorrentina,
Sorry.
because Sorrentina is a dancer and she's a dancer. They kind of somewhat know. It's in passing.
I see.
And Kavros motions to Iman. So, how are you finding your new destination?
It's interesting. However,
Come,
I'm more... I think... I will stay here and assist. Yes, I will stay here and assist.
You're the ship. You're the ship's engine. Don't we need the engine?
Yeah, it's like you can make a new one, you know?
Yeah.
Shit's broken,
You
yo.
do that.
Mhm.
Kavros gives a wave to Iman and heads off to look after the others. At the meantime, all around the band now. Do any of you have any other further questions for the time being?
No, take selfie. Oh, sorry.
Right. I'll let you know your full crew list next session.
Yay!
Whoa!
Before that, well, do we? What are we doing next session? Right into the
Next session will be landing there.
All right. So what I'm going to do is Verity is going to write a note to leave on the table of his house.
Yeah.
To inform his mom that he's going to Zendikar.
Hey, Momsy, if you need me, you know where's the portal.
I'm in Zendikar now.
Oh.
I know last time I went to Acheron, but this time I'm in Zendikar.
Yeah, I'm sure sendings will still come true.
All I'm thinking of is he's writing a note like, "Hey ma, just going on a vacay. Like we'll be back soon. Send you messages. Love you."
Hey, Michael.
Yes?
Can Rose sending to Sarmia? I mean, if she tries to pay someone
There's
to
a
do it.
5% chance to fail if they're on another plane of existence. If you ask me, why
Ah.
don't you just make this a whole auto pass thing?
All right. Okay.
Yeah, you can
No,
send
because
me.
it's like she's incarcerated, so she might be in like some place that has protection, so no one can contact her. So that's what I mean.
Hmm.
So if someone sends sending to Sarmia, does it get through?
You have to try.
All right.
As
I'll
in,
do it another day.
if it fails, it's probably because you either rolled that 5% failure when they're on a different plane, or because they have non-detection or something on.
I see. All right. I will try to ask a favor from Alara whenever we are free. All right.
Okay. Any other further thoughts?
Are we ending already? No.
Yes, we are. Did I manage to wrap up everything? I think I covered all the points.
I think it was pretty good. Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
thinking
yeah.
I'm thinking whether or not Hayes would stay behind, seeing as Sile is there to watch out for Verity.
No,
That's a
all the
good
food, all
question.
the food. Things that you can kill without
You
asking.
can eat everything this time.
Actually,
Exactly.
one thing I noticed is that Hayes was quiet during the entire discussion.
Yeah, he doesn't really have things to add for.
Do you prefer to have a character with more stuff to add?
Maybe, I don't know. Like Kendra wouldn't have anything to add here either, so
Oh, is Kendra
just-
staying behind?
yeah, she's not going.
Okay.
Like when I think when Kavros was talking about all the like god fragment stuff, she was like, "Okay, I think I'm gonna leave before I get roped in."
It's like I left one contaminated realm. I'm not gonna get involved in another.
Yeah, it's like, I still have all that gold from Adam, so
Oh my god.
Well, you have half that amount left.
yes, after spending, but still half that amount.
It's still a lot of gold.
It's nothing to
Pretty
scoff
good
at.
for
Yes.
Kendra in her station.
Yeah.
Is the whole of Turukmal like dropping out of the Zendikar part?
It doesn't look like they're inclined to come along.
Guys, we're trying to save our world here. What the
No, they've been screwed. But yeah,
But this is not the kind of world that they were looking for anyway.
Yeah.
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 they're also they got screwed over. Pretty much what Ben said. They were promised something, but were given something else because there was a pretext. It's like
Yeah.
yeah, so they're probably feeling shitty that oh man, I wanted to go on this journey, but y'all fucked me over. I'm going home.
Yeah. Okay, I think I've made my decision.
Yes.
For Hayes, I think it would be much better and ending for him if he stayed behind and did things like coaching Finala.
Oh my god, that'd be so cool.
That'd be cute.
Cute.
Finala
Now
and
you get to
Co.
marry someone else.
I mean, technically, then Finala and Co can help Stravas look for the people who are bad and
The
smite
people
them.
who are bad. Oh, the anarchists.
Yeah.
Yep.
Smite them.
Yeah, that could be a thing that they do.
Smitty,
Perhaps. What's the green
Smitty
box?
smoked.
That's people who are going back to art.
No, fuck that. Bye. Bye, bitch.
Well, then Verity will tell Hayes that he has become independent. He's proud of Hayes.
Yes, I think once Hayes sees Sile going with Verity, he will be like he'll just see and be like, okay, this one will not be needed.
Okay. Also responses. Aram just approach Verity and Sayo later on.
Yep.
Oh, I didn't think we would be parting ways so quickly, and I just wanted to say congratulations on finding your place. And
Well, I'm not technically leaving the Harmonium, perhaps as a representative.
of course not, but this is your first big step out of Seagill for a very long time.
It has been a while since I've been in another plane for a long time.
Well, contact me if you can. I'll see if we can work up some kind of arrangement. Least I can do.
Yes.
Oh, Hayes can be delivery boy.
That'd be so cool.
Well, it was really nice working with you so far.
Likewise, my pleasure.
I'll be seeing you after this expedition is done in Santikar.
And then the next one to approach, familiar lady. So you remember me as Ludia Strathford, Navarre's wife.
Dun, dun,
Oh
dun.
shit. Verity is gonna be like that. He's
Oops,
going
I
to bow,
killed your family.
and then he says,
Lady Lydia. I apologize.
Well, Verity, occurs to you that nothing was announced explicitly about killing her children and all that, unless you blurted it out loud in assembly and public.
no, he didn't say anything like that.
Like the report is that you destroyed a book
Yeah.
and nothing else was found in the house.
I don't.
Verity not about to lie to this woman.
Yeah, he. In a report, he would have said that he met the entity.
And
then-
representations of
Yeah, the representation of that entity, and then. Yeah, he would say about Navarre. But because of how unconclusive it was, he wouldn't have made like they are dead sort of report. It's still, to be honest, for him, it's still kind of in the air.
All right, then what does Verity say, regardless of report or not?
Nah. He's going to say, right now, he's going to say,
I have met Governor Navarre when I returned. In another dimension of sorts, he was all numbers.
I know, I read the reports.
And he wanted to stop the entity. when I was sent out there, I made the decision to destroy the book. But I couldn't find whatever was left. The kids who were preserved in numbers, I couldn't find them.
Music. Music.
Uh-oh.
Music?
What music?
Oh yeah, Kian can't hear anyway. Continue. She's quiet at this. Do you think it was the best decision?
I have thought about it for the past few weeks. And considering the lives that were lost to the experiments, that was the right course of action to me. And then he kneels down and say, I apologize deeply.
Ida takes a step back and delivers a slap to the side of your helmet or your face if you're not wearing the helmet.
He's wearing a helmet, but he'll take it.
After that, she walks over to Kavros and there's a sound like clang and ow! Then she walks out of the speaker's hall.
Did Kavros just say ow?
Yes, apparently.
That's so cute.
She didn't slap him, she kicked.
Like,
Oh.
gong.
Well, Verity will try to catch up to her, I guess. If possible.
Unfortunately, by the time you entangle yourself from other people and all that, it turns out her stride has already cleared the distance ahead of you and she's nowhere to be seen.
Unfortunate. Well, then he'll go back to the group dejectedly.
And you're approached by more people. Alicia from the pantry, you remember me?
Yes, Lady Alicia.
Thank you for what you helped with the hive. I'm not sure what happened over there, but you don't strike me as the sort who would make a bad decision.
Well, lives were lost.
And she looks at the others. Thank you too for taking part, even though it wasn't your world.
You sheltered us when we needed it. That was the least we could do. Both of you.
And it cost one of you his eyesight.
He protects.
If within the hour, let me try and see if I can get something for you. Your journeys.
That would be.
That would be appreciated. Thank you.
Thank you. Hearing Alicia say something like that, she turns around to the rest of the factors and asks for, well, it's pretty great. Since we're going to a place that is knowingly very dangerous, perhaps we may have some kind of boon to aid us in the endeavor.
Fractal Marlin nods as there's a Fractal Hashkar opposite him. Yes, obviously you will need a suitable set of clothing for every sort of weather occasion, and then you will need a flexible diet that accommodates well with the weather and availability. And then, and he starts going on a spiel of things. There's someone by his side is just scrambling to take notes. So the Fractal Hashgar and Marlin can provide some supplies that will be suitable for this. But you are warned to take good care of this because it may be hard to replenish after.
Thank you. Any guidance that we may have for the upcoming expedition would be much obliged.
Verity raised a question though.
Would there be keys to this world? And would the keys work?
Sarin shakes its head. For the same reason that there are no keys to Ark. It is not a world of gods.
I see.
Then Verity ponders. And then he says again, I see.
Something is troubling you beyond even these recent events.
It's not an important matter. Sorry. Speaking of,
Verity would just go have a private talk to Sarin. He's just curious.
about that one time where the Harmonium officers were shouting Kurok's name, what was the reason for that?
There's a sheepish smile there for a brief moment. I spoke with him. I asked him what he wanted in return for helping someone when he had no obligation or debt to do so. And all he asked in return was, well, for some means of directing people to him, of his own clan and tribe.
And then, Verity smiles, but you can't see it through the helmet. It's just, and then he says the same thing again. I see.
Next one to approach is, well, the two together, Leandra and Karen from the Bleakers. You are going in a far place, Verity.
It seems so.
Good luck.
Thank you. And take care.
Thank you for the children and everything.
That's part of what I want to do.
And then he hands all his gold that he has right now to her.
For the kids.
Sound from Factolar as he produces something from his pack and passes it over through the other two. He just waves it off as it's given to Verity. And it appears to be a compass of some kind.
Compass. When Verity receives it, it's like,
I can't receive such gifts.
Factolar just sits back down and ignores anything else, seeming to go back into one of his somber moods again.
Verity will salute to him and say, "Thank you, Factolas." I hope the kids will grow to appreciate. And then he's like, said it again. And then he nods to Karen and Leandra.
Take care, we know you will.
You too. I'll be seeing you soon after the expedition is over.
The next to approach Director Zoltan, still in his similar robes.
Oh, the old man.
You're going to a faraway place.
Yes, Zandikar, haven't heard of it, but
I will
perhaps
come
be honest.
along.
Oh,
Wait, what?
Alara is also surprised.
You are
Yes.
welcome.
thank you. We will need your expertise with the passing.
Rose is going to look at. I don't know who she will look at, but she's trying to find a sign. Is this a good thing? Probably look at the factals. It's like,
Fractal skull doesn't seem to have moved.
Wait, so Zoltan wasn't apprehended, only Tomaska and Hawas.
It seems that way.
Interesting.
Well, Verity will still welcome Zoltan anyway.
I'm glad you were able to escape the plane.
I would not have if not for your assistance and intervention.
Well, it'll be good to have you on board. We will require your expertise. Verity will just do a little nod. A bow to Zoltan.
No need for my expertise. All will die in their proper time. Don't rush.
Lol.
Verity will just say, Indeed, we all have our time.
Let's see. Is there anyone else approaching? Or anyone you would like to call to approach?
Can't think of anyone.
I know Rose said that they will ask Iman more about Adam's disappearance later, but guess we'll just assume that's done behind the scenes. Because I
Okay.
don't want it to go off tangent. After suddenly Rose like, oh no,
You
another
can
adventure.
text the thing.
Yeah. If not, nanti
Who
Verity
else?
also like, oh, Verity also goes here.
I
Yeah.
have to save
Don't
Adam.
don't distract
It's
people.
the whole arc of saving Private Adam.
God damn it. We're like saving.
Private Adam or Adam's private.
Exactly. It's like saving Adam's privates. Jesus, stop. Like, stop getting yourself in trouble, man.
The world.
See,
Shut up,
this-
Kip.
Balasar more than Adam.
It's like Factal Jesus disapproves.
But yeah, whatever we find, we can probably leave the information with what Hayes to follow up.
Yeah, Verity will ask Hayes to
Wait.
tell his mom when she comes back that
That's when one last figure approaches, the strange woman known as Dati, whose
Dati.
eyes are as brilliant
Oh, oh.
as that of Factal Terrence.
Ooh.
Brilliant.
You go to a place with many false gods. Be careful who you choose to put your power in.
It will not be a easy decision, but we try to make our best decisions.
The three main gods there, whom they think they worship, are
Oh.
different from what they see.
What are they called?
Trust no names.
Alright. Scribble down 3 main gods.
who are not as they seem.
Yes. She returns back to Stan.
Dati is the
Isn't she part of the crew?
Yes. She seems to have made no attempt to rejoin it.
Oh, okay. That's cool, that's cool.
wait, she knows about Zendikar.
Because she knows about Zendikar, Alara is going to go to her and go, Dati, perhaps you can tell us a bit more of what you know about Zendikar?
She turns around to look at you. What?
You sound like you know about Zendikar.
I do?
Taken aback. What just happened?
Dati, were you thinking about anything earlier?
Is the meeting over already?
Oh.
Oh.
Hey.
I look around to see if any of the factals noticed this.
Now this is more like personal conversation now. Like no one is shouting at the top of their lungs anymore.
Dachi, I have a question. Just randomly, how often do you sort of space out?
She frowns as if in consternation.
You do realize that we suspect you were spacing out just now.
It happens from time to time. Think nothing of it.
Alright.
Interesting.
Are you sure you don't want to come with us? It might, help us if you
recall
space out.
she kind of missed an entire meeting. Do you want her to come with you to land that's trying to kill
No.
people?
We
Yeah,
are only
that-
wanting the space out part.
Alara turns to Rosa. Rosa, chill out for a while. Daddy, why don't you hang out with us for a day or so? We'll keep you up to speed. And then you can be on your way.
So you TLDR her and then before she goes off or whatever.
Yeah, so pretty much she wants to keep an eye on her to see if whatever entity that spoke through her or whatever dissociative personality disorder she has that knows about Zendikar will resurface again.
And spew more hints.
Okay. Let's see. Anyone else you want to approach?
Stravas has nothing to add to this whole thing.
He seems to be busy conferring with Kavros.
Oh, also one more thing. It was mentioned just now that Zendikar is a place where they have condemned their gods. Is that something that might happen to Ark?
I can't answer that question, you know that.
Condemn their god?
It's more like is this what happens when the power is left unchecked and bleeds out into the world and then it becomes
Can't answer that.
Damn it. That means yes, guys.
Oh god.
Half-Life 3 confirmed.
I'm just wondering the Fae, never mind. Anyway.
Hey Faye dude, wanna follow us?
Dude's like, no. Fuck you guys. Jumps away.
It's like a leprechaun.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh,
Any-
Zagal, yes.
You know, yeah?
Zagal.
Oh yeah, Sagal.
Who?
Yeah, what happened to Zagal?
Oh yeah.
Sagal.
But another question, just randomly. This time she asked everyone, specifically people who know. So what happened to the Hellhound? Sagal?
I haven't seen him since we returned.
Anyway, I think Verity would just ask the directors. the
Tomosco and
Harvest.
Harvest are not able to answer anything on this. Well, we know that he was associated more with Zoltan before we came into the deal.
Turn to Zoltan.
Turn to
Turns to
Zoltan.
Zoltan. Zoltan.
Zoltan speaks. Of his designs and purpose I knew little, except that he apparently designated himself as a familiar and was keen to please. As to his origins, I offered to read his lifeline when he was in humanoid form. He did not have one. He may as well have been plucked out of and into existence formed as he was. I hope that was useful.
I know he is under instructions
Somehow,
or he has
I'm
other plans.
So I'm wondering
Because-
if Cabras knows about him.
Sorry,
Because-
Kien? Yeah?
Because he has endangered Sire. And I intend to question that.
I wish you luck.
And then he said and he will go to Cabros and he'll ask, are you aware of this hellhound named Zagal?
Are you aware that apparently ladies wear metal in your shoes? Never mind. All those preparations.
It is fine so far. We have a lot to negotiate.
Take care, and I appreciate this. Yeah. I appreciate this, Asimar.
Then can Verity actually know that it's a fiend? I have no idea.
Well, I
Divine
mean,
sense.
I think Sarin did mention it before. Fractal Sarin
It's a
did mention
fin.
it before.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then he says, I do it for the people in your world.
And then he just like nods politely. Goes to the group.
Okay, I'm opening the. Okay, anyone else have questions here?
No.
So we don't know who the heck is Saga and what his plans.
He's dead. No, I don't know.
Shady Zagal.
Anybody have what's
I
that
can open the
spell?
floor up to. I can open the floor up to Kib and Kai if they want.
Oh yeah.
Hey,
They
Kai.
have not said
Questions?
anything.
Quib and Kai.
With
Come, Kai. Guess of
They've
Damn
honor.
been
Quib.
silent the
Ibu?
whole time.
Kibu, any question?
I thought you want to ask about like Uga or something.
yeah.
What happened with the Turukpa people? Where they
They
headed off to?
left.
Okay. Do you want to know what happens, Kib?
Yes, I would love to.
Do you really want to know?
You
I
really?
Are
really
you
want to
sure?
know.
Get the
Yes.
tissues.
I'm so sure.
Okay. Do you know why the Turokmal people leave to go home?
Please enlighten me.
In the dead of the night, Fira leads them to the Tivium's antiquities.
Mm-hmm.
They break in, make their way to the top of the tower, and release Adam.
What?
And then
By
they
virtue of smashing and destroying and killing everything in the way.
Killing what?
what the fuck?
Wait,
And then they go
500
home after?
proof thing.
they killed who?
Whoa!
The gnome dies believing that he's trying to save the plane of existence from
Oh my
Orcus
god.
They killed the gnome. Those
I feel
bitches.
sorry for the good gnome suddenly, even though Rose wanted to
Man.
like him.
I mean, he was doing his job, technically.
I know.
Who is
Uh,
that?
Like,
that's
the
gnome?
one
I mean,
who's
who's
not
not
doing
even
his job is Adam.
Like, no one's paying him.
It's
not
it's
even
more
his
like
job.
The
a
world.
secret
He's doing
society of
Yeah.
service.
So after they save Adam, they go home.
Yes, and after
Oh, they
cleaning
got him
themselves
out.
up and everything, and they say nothing about this.
Mm. I see.
So
I
they
see.
bring Adam back to Turkmal.
Yes,
Wow, Adam.
With Belisar?
yes.
Okay.
They made him out.
What do you,
He
what do you
made
mean
it
with
out.
Belisar? They're
You
the
know who
same
knows?
They're the same
No.
person.
Might have been splat.
Like, all his actions are just like, this is not a good person, man.
You got a whole bunch of people killed.
No.
Just for you.
Anyway, they leave when they do because the next day when people come to the shop, there's a whole different line of inquiry and all that.
How do they return back to Ark?
They go with Kavros lot.
I see. So Kavros like, hey, that's the boy who wasn't around.
We found him.
No questions asked.
Okay, I know where. I've
Oh,
been there, done that.
I got one more question for Adam though. Back in Turukmal, does he ever like whatever happens to him and Belisar? Do they like split up? Do they ever manage to split up, or do they like
That's for you to answer yourself.
become one person?
That's for you to answer yourself.
That's like whoa. They kiss, they get married. Yeah, Kai.
What?
Ew.
You kiss yourself?
Man marries himself.
Apparently that's Kai's
Actually.
fanfic. Yeah.
Florida man marries himself.
Anyway, Kivam's Antiquities is now a cursed and condemned building.
Oh no. What
Oh,
have you
poor
done,
thing.
Adam?
To save one, we destroyed another. I
Right?
think the antiquities is a lot more, valuable than Adam, but still.
Well, they weren't sure what was keeping him, so they destroyed everything in it.
That's a total waste of money.
Okay, so what else of you questions do you have, Kip?
No, I'm good. That I got at the start. I was like really confused, like what Lena and Kai were like nerding out, like, oh, what is this all going full circle? I'm like, what the fuck? I don't see the goddamn circle. I don't even see a square. And then I got it, like as you explained more. I was like, oh yeah, I see. This is interesting.
Okay, Kai, any questions from your end?
Will he type in
That's-
Discord?
Yeah, he's
That's
typing the
able-
Hangouts.
Does Abel
I
get to
don't
come
read
and play?
Hangouts.
You type in
Yes,
Hangouts.
Inheritance is canon. Of course it's canon.
Yeah. No, you don't.
You can come in your spirits and dreams.
Well, Inheritance is
Take
canon, and then they got
MC.
wiped. Means the future is not the same. So
Yeah,
Yeah,
Not the same.
Oh wait, did the Turok mouse bring back Ulgar
they did.
and the thing inside him?
They declined to explain on it.
Darn.
I
was
mean,
that?
like, they wouldn't bring this up in Hall of Speakers, and they're not going to bring it up there then.
Isn't it gonna aggravate like the fragments of the gods?
I don't know.
Fortunately, that's no longer your campaign to concern.
Oh my
I don't know,
god!
let it happen.
You're gonna destroy Ark before we save it. Oh god,
Yeah,
no!
just let it happen. Let it happen.
So another campaign will be sprung up when they return.
Yay!
And another piece of the containment unit. Yay! They have 6 now. What a
Uh-oh.
nice party.
6 is the number of hell.
Yes.
Only if you triple it.
Exactly.
Well, if you read it 6 times, you triple it.
Leave it to the Turok mouse to triple anything.
Meh.
What else? I think that is all. Do I see Zoltan's imp with him? Like, his zigzag imp.
You don't see zigzag.
So Zoltan was not reprimanded for what he did.
He didn't do anything.
He did put out those keys that lures people to fall in to the plane.
And of course, he would blame the people that actually killed them.
Well, he's the one who brought them there, so it's a chicken and egg thing, isn't it?
We're still worried about Zoltan.
Well, he's with you now.
Exactly.
Exactly, so chill.
Because he has, I mean, out of character knowledge, we know he sends that suspicious package to the anarchist building.
Yes, but
Yeah.
unfortunately, everything regarding the plotline kept dying.
Until
Adam was the
Adam
one who
himself
delivered.
went poof.
Exactly, and then it's like, wow, fuck this.
Zoltan's like, all the
Easy
loose
peasy.
ends tied up.
Sort of. Now I can join this team and be the inner spy. Ha ha ha.
Fucking funny,
Oh,
bro.
I have a question. How does the Grand Raid feel about his son being like trapped as like a puppet of a demon lord? Does Adam tell his father that?
Then the entire guild hall ward burns down, and the market ward, and the whatever ward.
That's not because Bertie's house
Grand
is
Raid
there.
comes to sigil.
Just kidding.
I don't think Grand Red could even get there before the Factors like
Smote him.
apprehend him.
Straight up, like, nope.
That means Siren is retiring. But at least he can retire back to Arcadia with his family.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I wanted to ask him to stay, but I guess it's impossible.
I mean, I don't, you're leaving, so even if you ask him to stay, it's gonna be like, but why?
Yeah. Oh well.
Any other thoughts?
No, I'm excited for the next one.
What's Adam? What's Kip gonna play? Kip.
No, he very last minute one.
I will neither confirm nor deny this.
It's like, Kip, have you done
Play
your
a
shit?
girl.
Shit, no!
Play a girl, Kip.
Okay, so for the next session, like, I think I'll just start you off proper in that world.
Mm-hmm.
And,
So
Yeah.
like, I'm from there. Oh, you mean like the party? Okay. Whoops.
it can be. I left wiggle room because some of the factals send people with you, so that could be your PC or it could be a native or whatever. But you have options here.
Or you can be a sigillian.
Wait.
Also, I'll try to keep the main party to the PCs as to rather than like, a whole bunch of NPCs this time and such.
I agree. Okay, we're going to stop streaming now. And
Alright.
to
Thank you all for
who
joining.
Thank you,
are
bye.
listening, we'll see you next week with a new campaign, or rather the continuation of the campaign.
Art tree.
It's like Voyager,
Different flavor.
but with
Different flavor.
part 3. Okay, bye!
Bye.
Ciao.